Hi BookTube, welcome back to my channel. It is Monday, November 18th, and we're starting a new reading vlog because, well, we're in the middle of the Nonfiction November Readathon, but November 18th is also the beginning of the Buzzword Readathon, which is a readathon hosted by Books and Lala. And she does this every few months where she takes an idea that is a popular concept in book titles and invites booktubers and others to join in by finding books that have that concept in their title and reading those books during the week. So this time around, the buzzword is numbers. Choose books with titles having numbers in them. And because we're in Nonfiction November, I decided to try to find some nonfiction books that have numbers in the title. And the reason that I'm doing this, no, I haven't finished reading my Nonfiction November TBR. There is one book on my TBR that will work for the Nonfiction November prompts, but also work for the Buzzword Readathon. But I decided to look on my shelves for a couple other books and just see how I could incorporate Buzzword Readathon in my Nonfiction November Readathon TBR. So I have a couple other books because what happens when you set a goal and you've met even the smallest part of it, you feel like you're on top of the world and you can just add more benchmarks to your goal. So I have a few books here that I could potentially read that would work for both Nonfiction November and Buzzword Readathon. First one is The Other 100 Years War, Japan's Bid for Supremacy from 1941 to 2041. This is by Russell Brandon. I got this one from my husband's bookshelf. He studied history in college. He's a history teacher. I also picked up this book, 12 Years a Slave by Solomon Northup. I've watched the movie and I could read the book as well, right? The next book is one that I found when we visited my husband's childhood and young adult home a few weeks ago, and I went through his old bookshelves and pilfered some books, and that is the Christopher Columbus, The Four Voyages. And this one is assembled, I think, from Christopher Columbus's logs as he was traveling to what he called the New World, and is translated by J.M. Cohen. I'd really like to read this one. If I could read it this week, that would be great. And the last book is one that was already on my Nonfiction November TBR, and it's also on my Gone with the Book Readathon TBR. So putting it now on Buzzword Readathon TBR means that I'll be able to check 3 boxes with this one book, and that is The Hero with a Thousand Faces by Joseph Campbell. That's my updated week's TBR. Hello, baby. Yeah, that's what she thinks about my attempts to rouse her. Tuesday morning, these are the books that I was reading last night while I was up with the baby. So I was making some progress on The Swerve by Stephen Greenblatt and The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexander Dumas. And I'm gonna go get my day started now and probably read some more. I'm reading to her as she eats breakfast. Shaking each other warmly by the hand, Bert remarked he had brought some company, inquired at what time the brig would leave, and was answered that it would probably leave the next day at such an hour. Goodin then turned to me, took hold of my arm, turned me partly around, looked at me sharply with the air of one who considered himself a good judge of property, and as if estimating in his own mind about how much I was worth. I was thinking about creating this yesterday and I didn't do it, so I'm doing it today even though it's a little bit backdated. This is my reading schedule for the rest of this month. These are the books that I want to read, along with page numbers for each one of the books and where I should be on each one of these dates. So these are the dates from yesterday to the end of November, and the books that I want to be reading on which day and what page number I want to get up to. These first 7 days will coincide with the Buzzword Readathon, and the last 7 days will be the Gone with the Book Readathon. And of course, at any point here, I should be reading some of my nonfiction books. I may have to change this format just because PowerPoint won't let me highlight, but this is what I'm doing right now, creating a schedule to read instead of actually reading. This is a pretty old book. It was first published in 1949, second edition 1968. It covers a lot of history and discussion that I'm really interested in learning about. Illustrations. The monomyth. So let's start reading. Oh, maybe not. I might need to go attend to her. Oh, looks like she settled down. So let's start reading. And C, cantaloupe is a fruit. Banana is a fruit. An apple is a fruit. C makes the sound k, k. Cantaloupe. Apple, banana, cantaloupe. A, b, k. A, B, C. A, B, C. A, B, K. A, B, C. I hope you're taking notes. There's going to be a quiz tomorrow. Sometimes when the baby's crying, this is as much as I can get myself to eat. Heating this up only takes like 2 minutes, and I can look after her while I'm heating it up. Coming, baby. One of the things that I really love about reading multiple books around the same time is finding connections that ripple through different kinds of writings, especially when I'm reading 2 books that are different genre. So I'm reading The Prince by Niccolo Machiavelli, and of course in this one Machiavelli talks about how a leader gains and retains power, and it's mentioned or alluded to in the swerve because here Poggio is the papal secretary of the now deposed pope, and he's talking about how authority and power is gained and retained or lost through different administrations, because he's looking at it from a historical perspective and how it affects the book industry. And then I'm also reading The Count of Monte Cristo, which is talking about the conflicts between Louis XVIII and Napoleon Bonaparte, and of course mentioning the 100 Days event where Napoleon was able to, Napoleon is called the usurper, how he was able to regain power, and then how the royalists were able to claim it again. So they all talk about Machiavelli's position on the princeship, how it's gained and how it's either retained or lost, depending on how the prince, how the leader treats his followers. And I'm finding this so fascinating. Sadly, however, none of this has anything to do with the Buzzword Readathon, just, my reading life in general. When I was just a little girl, I asked my mother, what will I be? Will I be pretty? Will I be rich? Here's what she said to me. Que sera, sera. Whatever will be, will be. I just finished up to page 104 in 12 Years a Slave by Solomon Northup, so I'm going to record that now in the log and then move on to the next read. So far, this is about how this man, Solomon Northup, born a free man, was kidnapped into slavery, and now he's been renamed and sold to a plantation in the South, and his new name is Platt. So even though he's found himself in these bad servile circumstances, he's talking about how good his master is, so that if his wife and children were with him, he'd have been able to bear his new situation in a much better way. Interesting. Moving on to the next book. Next on the reading agenda is The Hero with 1,000 Faces. I didn't get to where I wanted to get to yesterday. I was supposed to get to page 50. I think I only read to about page 30 something. So I want to get up to page 100 today. So I'm going to start now. Something came in the mail today, and it is cloth diapers. I know I said I would never do this, but when you have the baby, you realize that never is a long time. And her skin is really sensitive. I want to make sure that I'm giving her the best protection that I can. So I'm going to try these things out. So these are the snaps, and they have snaps all the way so you can adjust the waistband. And then here are the inserts. So I could change these inserts all the time. And these are the covers. This is really cute. This is really cute. I'm liking this. So I want to go get these washed so I can try them later. Pack of 4 for 20 bucks. That's not bad, right? I'm making these cornbread muffins to go along with the chicken wings for dinner, and of course some vegetables. Kind of a soul food dinner going on this evening. Uh-oh. I'm reading The Swerve by Stephen Greenblatt, and I'm at page 84, and this is so interesting. He's talking about the definition of the bookworm, where, you know, what a bookworm means now is someone who consumes a lot of books, but it's coming from a historical place where a bookworm was an actual worm, which is an actual page eater. The literal bookworm was one of the pests, I suppose, that destroyed manuscripts, a worm that actually ate at the manuscripts and destroyed it over time. Interesting. Okay. We could go back to sleep, you know. It's almost 2 a.m. Yeah. If we go back to sleep now, we could sleep until 5 o'clock. And Daddy gets up. We could all get up together. You like that plan? You like that plan? And Daddy's alarm goes off at 5 o'clock. We all get up. We snuggle together. We have worship together. We have breakfast together. Right? That sounds like a good plan. So we could go back to sleep now. Okay? Good morning and welcome to your morning workout session. Time to get those muscles moving. Time to get those joints moving. Yes. What song would you like to sing this morning for your morning exercise? Ooh. Electric Slide. Popular choice. Marcia Griffith. Also Jamaican. Part of your Jamaican culture. You okay, baby? You okay, baby? Okay. Maybe not yet. I got to move. What happened? What happened? I've got to move. Feel a little better? Maybe not lie down so fast? Okay. Alright, we'll get back to the exercises. How about we sing Boogie Woogie Woogie? It's electric. Boogie Woogie Woogie Woogie. It's electric. Boogie Woogie Woogie Woogie. That's pretty much all that happens for the song. Here, there, and everywhere. I've got to move. Cuddle time. Cuddle time. Kisses. Kisses. Besu besu. French kisses on both cheeks. American kisses on both cheeks, and then one more for good measure. Mwah, mwah. Ear kisses. Kiss the ear around the person. Oops. More burpees. These are not the kinds of burpees I was thinking of when I said morning exercise, but we'll take them. We'll take them. Why? Because we don't want the baby to be coughing and choking and spluttering, especially during exercise session. So we'll get back to the other kinds of burpees later, okay? Yes. I'm up to page 163 in 12 Years a Slave by Solomon Northup. And based on the schedule that I set for myself, I shouldn't be finishing this until about Sunday if I read just the prescribed number of pages every day. But it's a really engaging read, so I think I'm just going to keep reading, maybe read until I'm finished, or at least until she wakes up. And we got some more gifts for the baby. Oh, look at this little outfit. Oh my goodness. We love elephants. This is 3 months. Yeah, she could probably wear this now. Oh yes, gonna wash that today. Oh, oh my word. Look at this little outfit. Oh, baby, you are gonna love this. This looks like it's about 6 months. Yep, this is 6 months. Little tunic top and tights. Oh, oh, oh my word, look at this. Look at this outfit. Look at this dress. This is Iris and Ivy, and it is it navy? Wow, it is navy and like a light orange. Oh, I want her to wear this today. Oh, it's 18 months. Okay, all right, fine. So she can't wear it today, but my goodness, look how cute this is. Look how cute it is. It has this little gold thread running through it. Okay, baby, you're gonna have to grow up really fast because you need to wear this outfit like soon. Look at the little panty. Still reading 12 Years a Slave by Solomon Northup. I probably will finish it today, and I might finish Hero with 1,000 Faces today, which if I'm able to complete those today, then I would have read 2 books for Buzzwordathon. I've read some other things. I've made some progress on Count of Monte Cristo, and I've read a few pages from The Swerve. I've done some reading. Not in the pace that I thought I would have, not completed all the books that I thought I would have, but I'm reading. And I've spent a lot of time today, especially, I spent a lot of time for the last few weeks just tending to the baby. Right now, she's not feeling so great, so I put her to sleep. She woke up, and then I had to put her to sleep again. And the cycles to put her to sleep, sometimes they're lengthy. So that's where the bulk of my day has gone. It's Sunday morning, and I just finished 12 Years a Slave by Solomon Northup, and I just woke up with the baby. I finished the book, and what makes it such a difficult read is that it portrays the dangers of being a person of color in the 1800s. Okay, she's stretching. The fact that Solomon Northup was a free man, a citizen of the United States, and yet he was cheated out of his freedoms and unable to reestablish his claim to his liberty and his freedom for 12 years makes it such a difficult read, makes a difficult reminder of the injustice that Black people suffered during slavery. It also goes a little further in showing not just the injustice that's suffered by people who were enslaved, but also how difficult it was to live as a person of color even when you were a free man. So this is a fascinating read, heartbreaking, heart-wrenching, but also one that I'd recommend just for, people to see some of the hardships that were endured by people of color during this time, whether they were enslaved or not. I made some dinner, made some broccoli, made some pasta, made some chicken. Ooh. Chicken. But it's not complete until you make some plantains. This is my current situation. Baby, book, bed. It is Sunday night. The Buzzword Readathon is almost over, and I guess the vlog ends here. I finished 1 book for the Buzzword Readathon. I read 12 Years a Slave by Solomon Northup from start to finish, and I read about 2/3 of the way into The Hero with 1,000 Faces. It is a pretty long book, and it's not a fast read. So I'm pleased with how much progress I made into it. I will continue reading it this coming week for Gone with the Book Readathon. And I also read a significant amount of The Swerve, and I read about 300 pages of The Count of Monte Cristo. So I did a lot of reading this week. Not quite Buzzword Readathon success, but reading success. So the vlog ends here. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Subscribe if you want to see more. I'm sorry there wasn't more exciting stuff happening in this vlog. Next week I'll be traveling for Thanksgiving, so hopefully I'll be able to do something a little bit more vlog friendly. But thanks for hanging out with me, watching me read and tend to the baby, and just generally be here. So thanks for watching. Let's talk in the comments. I'd love to hear from you what you're doing for Thanksgiving, how your reading has been going, if you've been reading a lot of nonfiction books for November, or if you've been reading other things. And of course, if you're participating in Gone with the Book Readathon, I'd love to hear from you what you're reading next week. So or I guess this week by the time you see this vlog. So let's talk in the comments. I'd love to hear from you, and until next time, happy reading. Bye.